Hey K-State fans, it's Fitz with the Walk and Talk, your first edition of it. Now this is something that my buddy Trey Biddy, who covers the Arkansas Razorbacks, came up with, making use of his time as he leaves a press conference and heads to his car to give you the freshest information possible, maybe. Unfortunately for you folks, Trey's in much better shape than I am, so the Walk and Talk will probably include some huff and puff. So I'm out here on Tuesday, which is the press conference day for Kansas State football, leaving the Steel and Pipe conference room where we meet up every Tuesday. Now, my first takeaway is nothing shocking. My first takeaway is this is a really, really confident K-State football team. There's just something stewing here that should make fans feel pretty good about things. That this team has a quiet confidence about it that honestly I haven't seen in a long time at K-State. And it's interesting for me coming off that 4-6 season, the disaster of the 5-game losing streak, you know the story. That this team feels this good about itself as they move into Saturday's game down in Arlington against Stanford. And it's going to be very interesting to me to see how they actually respond in the game atmosphere. But Chris Kleiman just has this confidence about him that honestly I haven't seen. I haven't seen it since he arrived at K-State. You know, his first year was kind of an acclimation season for everyone, and they had some success. And last year they went into the nonsense that all of last year was, just the distractions, both in the locker room and, you know, in the greater world with the pandemic. And it really caught up to the team. It really they paid a price as the season went on, and there was some internal issues and external issues, and it just piled up into a 5-game losing streak. And my biggest takeaway is that it feels like Chris Kleiman grew from that. It feels like he understands a little bit more about the adversity that, honestly, bluntly put, he's never faced as a head coach, that he's never really experienced, because he inherited something special at North Dakota State and made it even better. So this is a huge game for Kansas State. And I asked Skylar Thompson about that exact thing. How big is this game for K-State? And he seems to understand how huge it is. See you, Ryan Lackey.
See ya.
That's Ryan Lackey, our first guest on the Walk and Talk. Skylar understands that this game is absolutely enormous for K-State, that they have to find a way to win this because it'll reinforce everything that they've thought about themselves heading out of the season. It'll reinforce themselves feeling like they're a much better team than they showed at any point last year. And for Skylar, it'll show that some of his critics are just flat out wrong. You know, I saw that recent poll of Big 12 quarterbacks and listed him 7th, and I can't fathom how someone can sit down and look at the resume of him and put him in the lower half of Big 12 quarterbacks. I don't quite grasp that, and I think he's ready for an absolutely enormous season for Kansas State. And I'm very excited to see what Skylar and this offense, particularly with Deuce Vaughn now in his second year, are going to be able to do. Unfortunately, Malik Knowles was supposed to come to the press conference on Tuesday, but didn't make it, so we didn't get a chance to talk to him. But on the defensive side of the ball, we got both Yeast and Brents, the two newcomers in the secondary. They looked the part, and they're atop their depth charts, so we'll see if it really plays out well for them. It's K-State and Stanford, 11 a.m. on Saturday. You know that. I'm hearing around 30,000 tickets have been sold. I will check more into that later, but I hope you can make it down there. And if you're a K-State fan, you're on our message board. I posted where the GoPowercat staff will be, so check us out if you want to drop by Friday and say hello. But mostly we're going to take a little time on Friday and relax and enjoy Dallas and get ready for football. It's going to be good to be back on the road again. And after the game, as we leave AT&T Stadium, I'll put up the selfie stick one more time and do some more walk and talk. Until then, I'm Fitz. Make sure you're subscribing to GoPowercat.com. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. Check the subscribe button. That is absolutely free. But man, if you want the VIP insider stuff, check out GoPowercat.